But yeah, Seagull's videos, it's had ripples, like, throughout the community. It's because it's an unusual place to hear valid complaints come out of Overwatch. And it kind of hit at the right time, and everyone sort of followed it. But the unfortunate side with Blizzard is, yeah, like Edmund says, you have to give Blizzard months to fix stuff. Like, I imagine they've had some meetings, and I imagine that video has been referenced numerous times in those meetings, but it's like, and I imagine everyone on the Blizzard team have watched the video. But they trap themselves in like, oh, well, we have to do this, and 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 we have to do this. And they don't stop and go, shit, what are the core issues? Okay, well, we can do balance changes. And it feels like the Blizzard team can only do one thing at a time as well. They're so small that they only do one thing at a time. So it's like, oh, well, we've developed the Overwatch World Cup viewer. And that's what we've done. Okay, now we're doing just balance changes. So we're not getting events anymore, but we're getting a lot more patches. We're getting a lot more balance changes. And then it's like, well, the systems are still broken as well. Like, the systems aren't working. The game is frustrating to play for these reasons. Matchmaking doesn't feel right still. It's putting me in teams that I don't want to play in. And so you're getting these situations where it's like, you need to be able to do like balance changes and be able to work on the systemic changes at the same time. But as it is now, it feels like Blizzard can just do one thing. Just do one thing, constantly. And it's tough. It's really tough. Because it means that you just have to wait so long for any kind of changes to come through. And I like the rate, I think the rate of patches now should have been the rate of patches forever. This is a really good song, by the way, My Toxic Avenger. Yeah, it should have, like, this rate of patches should have been the norm, right? They should have been looking to fix things and tweak things for forever. But they haven't changed, like, how the ranked system works visibly in ages. The only things they've changed are, like, the boundaries that people can group at and stuff. Looking for groups sort of came in and then fizzled out straight away because people just don't want to use it. They want that system baked into the game. They want to be like, in my mind, people want to be able to. I want to be able to click play and go, you know what? In the next game, I want to play DPS, and I can click and I can go, I want to play DPS. Or I want to play these heroes. The only thing Buzz been doing is piss people off, apparently. Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Like, they've had a lot of missteps. You'd be fools to suggest they haven't. Battle for Azeroth, not doing super great. Overwatch continues to be frustrating. Heroes of the Storm, ironically, is like the only game that's fine. StarCraft 2 feels abandoned. Diablo Immortal pissed off the entire Diablo community. Blizzard need to take a step back and breathe. But I think the issue with that is they also transitioned to being stakeholder owned. Like, they turned themselves into a public company when they merged with Active Blizzard. And if you look at gaming in general now, and I think this is why a lot of moves are happening, they're going to be really boring for a few seconds, but this is kind of an interesting thing. Stocks, Blizzard. Stocks, EA. There we go. 6 months. If I have EA up, give me 1 year for EA. Stocks Ubisoft as well. One year. So this is like a really nerdy, boring thing, but it really actually does impact a lot. So bear with me. Okay. So this is the Blizzard Activision stocks. I don't know if I can put this on like full screen or whatnot. Can I just do this? Yeah, there we go. So this is what it looks like. This was BlizzCon. And normally, every BlizzCon, you normally see... This is 6 months, by the way. Let's go to a year. Normally, every BlizzCon... 5 years? Let's see if I can find second... like, November... There's usually a peak right after BlizzCon, where they announce new things. There's a little peak, a little bump, right after BlizzCon. Alright? Trends up. This BlizzCon, it's gone down. And you can look at this and you can go, oh shit, Blizzard are dying. But then you look elsewhere. EA are going down. Ubisoft are going down. Right? Notice that Ubisoft stocks are fucking worth a shitload as well. confidence in gaming in general, in the venture capital and stocks market, is dropping, right? People are losing confidence in gaming because people are buying less, products are failing more, and people are like promising the world and then not delivering. So when Call of Duty sells for like 500 million copies or however much it was, but doesn't reach target, and you report to the venture capitalists, yeah, we didn't hit target, that's all they hear. They don't care about the game, they don't care how much 500 million is, they just hear, we didn't hit target. Okay, you failed to do what we needed, you failed to generate revenue, therefore, what are you going to do about it? Well, we're expanding into mobile gaming now, because that's very lucrative. But it's pissing off all the other fans, but it's very lucrative. And that's all they care. All they care about is the money. And when you are beholden to stockholders, and when you're beholden to all this stuff, it just turns into, well, what's the next project? Where's the money coming from next? They wouldn't give a shit about Overwatch ranked. They don't care. They don't care about balance changes. They don't care about trying to fix Overwatch. The thing that a stockholder would say is, well, why aren't you releasing a new product? Well, that one's failing. Get rid of it. Release a new one. Where's the new product? Where's the big boom? What's going to sell us? Where are we going to generate all our sales from? But it's also, there is like a boom bust if we go 5 years. 5 years. If you think about it from this point of view of gaming over the last 5 years has just skyrocketed. Absolutely skyrocketed. Across the board, gaming has gone up. And now we're starting to see the opposite side of that. This is very standard in stocks, this is very standard in economics, where you see it go up and up and up and up and up, and then it's going to come back down. It's very unlikely, and before you go like, oh my god, now's the time to buy stocks in Ushop, it is very unlikely that this is going to go like this, and go like this. What is more likely is this goes down to this, and you get back to like these sorts of levels. And that's probably going to happen across the board. EA, dropping. Alright, expect it to drop to about here. And like, I am by no means an expert in this shit, I've just done like bare bones reading on this sort of stuff. But this sort of graph, this type of graph is very typical in stocks. The bubble collapsed. It's not that the bubbles collapsed, it's just that I think a lot of people got really hype in investing in stuff. And so tons and tons of people started investing. When people start investing in things, more people follow. Because confidence grows, right? You see that everyone else is investing in it, you go, shit, I gotta get in there now before everybody else does. And this is sort of what happened with Bitcoin, right? People started investing in it and it skyrocketed in value, so more and more people went in. Then also what ends up happening is when you start to hit like this point, or actually like, because this is right before a downturn, when you start to hit like this point, the public notices. So more than just people, traders stuff notice, people like me start noticing, hang on, this is an upward trend. I should get in on this. And it becomes very, very popular and tons of people invest in it. And then when it starts failing, when you start hitting this point, and when you start seeing the downturn and this plummet, everyone who doesn't follow the company and doesn't see what the company's doing, abandons ship. They all go. They all just fucking run and flee like rats from a sinking ship. Because now's the time to sell, before it goes any lower. And yeah, it's no surprise, and like, people blame Activision, people go, oh, it's Activision's fault. I don't think it's Activision's fault. I think it's going public. There is a difference. What's happening with Nintendo right now? I think Nintendo's actually okay. Do I do a risky click and try and do a search? I don't think I do. Let's... that is a risky click. Nintendo. Stocks. I imagine Nintendo's doing okay. Nope, Nintendo's going down. Sony stocks are always a hard one to judge as well if I open up Sony. So Sony's a weird one because Sony is not just like the gaming company, Sony is also like movies, stuff like that. And Sony movies, like the only thing I've heard making money in Sony is the gaming division. But Nintendo's on a down. Right? Nintendo's gone down. Most gaming companies are going down. AAA gaming in general is like, investors have lost confidence in AAA gaming. And so you're seeing like a lot of this. Is this Pokemon Go? Or was this Pokemon Go? I think this was Pokemon Go. This was the Switch, I think. Instant drop off immediately after as well. But you can see, it's just all... Change to IRL, let's do an investing stream, yeah. Manage your portfolios. I don't have an investment portfolio. I'm not rich enough to actually put money into stocks and shit. I should probably do that, to be honest. But if I was looking at this, and going, should I invest in Blizzard? I think the answer is no. I think that the time to invest in Blizzard. Check Nvidia. I know Nvidia's in the toilet at the moment. Again, the same thing. Nvidia stocks. Oh, Sutox. Nvidia stocks. Nvidia's still worth a shitload. Holy shit, Nvidia. And also, let's go in Intel stocks. Let's just do like a fucking investment stream. Let's stream the stock market. Can you imagine? That would be so fun. What about Rockstar? Rockstar are probably doing okay actually. Rockstar stocks. It's Take-Two, isn't it? Take-Two stocks. I imagine these guys are doing okay actually. Oh, fucking hell. That's not too bad. Looking at the graph overall. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So that's Take-Two. Same overall trend, right? Going up and up and up and up over the last sort of year. Huge peak and then dropping. Intel, same trend. Like, I'm just going to keep this line. I'm just keeping this line, right? Nvidia. Look at how well it fits. Look at how well the line fits. Sony. Sony's a weird one. Still kind of works. Still kind of looks good. Nintendo. Look at how well the line fits. Ubi. Huge boom here. Drops down instantly. EA. Well, oh. EA's generally been doing okay a little bit more. Still above the line. Blizzard. Investors have lost confidence in gaming. But what this means is you're going to see this from every single AAA company now. Or at least the ones that are all publicly owned. Because they all now are having shareholder meetings, and shareholders are going, where the fuck's the money? Where the fuck is the new thing? Why is my stock going down? Why am I losing value? And they have to turn around and say, well, we're going to be doing this, and this, and this, and we have strategies to do this, and this, and this. Because you answer to those shareholders. And Blizzard haven't had to do this historically. They were privately owned for a long time. They've already going public. And then when they did the merger, they went public. And now, suddenly, like, tons of people invested in it. This is the guys that made WoW. They had a ton of products coming out. Overwatch blew up massively. But Blizzard's modus operandi isn't to release a new game every year. Blizzard's modus operandi has always been to, as much as I hate to say it, like, build up a core community of whales. Or, like, very dedicated followers who will play their games forever. And they just, like, go, okay, well, we'll keep pandering to you guys and keep making stuff for you guys to play. And we'll just keep making shitloads of money off Hearthstone and WoW, because you still pay a $15 sub per month to play WoW, and you still, like, Hearthstone gamers still pay shitloads to play Hearthstone. It's huge on mobile. So we'll just keep making bank off that, and that will payroll everything else. And like Overwatch, the amount of money they made out of Overwatch funds everything else. And so internally, internally, I think Blizzard are fine. I think Blizzard are sitting on shit tons of cash. But the shareholders don't see that. The shareholders don't. They just see a stock that they've bought and it's going down. Why is it going down? Release something. Do something. Well, if it ends up being another ET incident, I don't think gaming could do that again. Like the gaming crash in the early 90s, late 80s, it's very unlikely. There's too many companies. So first and foremost, like, it was just Atari that really tanked, and Atari sort of brought everything down with it, and gaming was built around Atari at the time. And it's this is an Overwatch stream, by the way. Lol. So Atari sort of went down, and everyone else imploded on Atari, and then, like, Nintendo, Sega, and everyone else popped up. But yeah, it's like Master 8 says, stock owners need endless growth, nothing is good enough. It's completely how it works. Because I'm going to mention this, Sty, because I thought it was hysterical when you said it, and you find it funny as well, which is that Sty had a chance to talk to Cloud9's lawyer, and apparently, like, the only thing Cloud9's lawyer was interested in is there any more VC in the company? Where's the next source of VC? Venture capital. Is there any venture capital coming in? Am I going to get money from this? Where's the money? It's a very, very harrowing thing when you start looking into the business world and you start to understand how, like, the 1% and how the people on top and the venture capitalists and everyone influences everything because they don't give a shit about the company. They just, all they don't want this graph. When they see this graph, they panic and everyone abandons ship. They just want to see this and this and this forever. Right? They're not going to take the time to go, huh. And so, yeah. Too much gaming infrastructure is this for it to easily disappear? Yeah. And the thing is, there's so many people caught up in it, there's so much passion in gaming that it will kind of exist. But what people have been calling for a long time is like a decrease in budgets for games and decrease in scale. I think that's a monkey's paw when people ask for that, because what happens then is people stop releasing games for PC and consoles and they release games for mobile instead. But well, some people are predicting like these developers here that we've all been talking about so far are what's known as the AAA developers, right? They're worth billions of dollars, right? These are all AAA companies. Even kind of, if Nvidia did it, sure, as well. But Take-Two, yeah, no, I say with GTA, Take-Two definitely became AAA. Tell people they should invest into Berkshire Hathaway. I don't even know what that is. Where's the money, Lebowski? Then people criticize Fallout 76 for being lazy and recycling their engine to save money. I think if Fallout 76 worked fine, if it had less bugs in it and had more polish and just ran well, I think people would be less critical of it, but people found it lazy. Like, you are also allowed to criticize a game when it is bad. The funniest thing I saw, the best thing I saw, this made me laugh so fucking hard. Apparently people were complaining. Let me find this again. Do a risky Google. So the final boss of Fallout 76, yeah, this'll do. Is this? Right, it's the Scorch Beast, which is like a flying creature, and it uses like a lot of Skyrim's code for dragons. And the funniest thing that someone suggested was, imagine if you beat the Scorch Beast and the game fades to black, and then it comes up again, and the first words you hear are, "Man, it's unlucky that you got caught up in that ambush on the border crossing, isn't it? What village do you hail from, horse thief?" And then Todd Howard's face fades onto the screen, and you realize that you bought Skyrim for the 7,000th time. That's what I want. Also, apparently Sty's calling me. Give me a sec. Let me... Hello?
Hello.
There you are.
Is this thing on? Hello.
Yes, it is.
I find this all very thrilling, but the Fortnite 76, not Fortnite.
Fortnite 76, Jesus Christ.
Oh, right, yeah, I find this very funny because think about it, right? It's a horrific bug-filled bag of shit game, but they're basically getting people to pay them to then feed them shitloads of user data that they can then use to develop an actual like open world game, but the users are paying them for it. And it goes back to the earlier point of like, hey, if you're gonna the stockholders of the company, they don't care, they just want to see money. And if you can basically produce a bag of shit product, this is what worries me about Blizzard, right? If they're going down the path of like, oh yeah, mobile games make easy money, then we might start seeing like the Blizzard polish goes away, which is like a good and a bad thing. But if you think about Blizzard anyway, this is a bit of a ramble, but last 20 years, they've spent that building the image of the company. Yeah. And then over the last year, they've just basically, whether it's, I don't think it's intentional, but they've fucked themselves over, especially with, oh God, that Immortal game, which I just want to say on record, isn't that bad, but it is not a game that I would ever play. Like when I played it at the demo station, it was... at the time, I didn't realize it was a clone of some other game from China that NetEase make. But
yeah,
it wasn't too bad. Like, it wasn't like horrifically shit. Now, remember, I was with Tyradin at the time, and I said, I bet somebody takes a picture of that booth when it's empty at the end of... you know what it's like. I told you this, but somebody take a picture of the booth and go, look, nobody's playing it. But I can tell you it was full. But obviously not with people going, wow, this is a great Diablo game, but people just wanted to check it out, right? So it was a bit like that. But
yeah, it's sad. It's how it is. It's just, it worries me when you like see that Blizzard are like making so many missteps, and like Bethesda doing the same. And it feels like a lot of gamers and a lot of game developers are just burning bridges with their communities. Like you saw what happened to EA, right?
The guy in the chat, like, yeah, but I'm describing early access. Yeah, but these are AAA game developers. They're not like Bethesda are literally taking the piss with Fallout 76. It's just terrible.
You expect better out of the product, but when you have shareholders breathing down your neck going, why is the graph declining? Why graph bad?
Positive after that, yeah. And you just know everybody's going to buy the next whatever they shove down people's neck. You know, I'll be there buying Elder Scrolls. Yeah, give it me, boys. It's going to be buggy. It's always buggy. Their games are. But the danger is I rush it out the door. I mean, it's like Blizzard, right? They've basically been... I mean, I haven't played... You've probably played more Battle for Azeroth than me.
Yeah.
But from what I gather... and from speaking to people who have played a shitload more than me, that looked like an unfinished product. It was okay.
Yes.
I mean, because remember, I got to max level basically and started doing. I did a few heroics. I forget what item level my guy is, but then I just stopped playing because I don't have time. But apparently after that, the whole as whatever the fucking arm.
Azeroth. Yes.
Yeah.
So the issues with BFA, like why BFA feels.
What I'm saying is they rushed it out, right? So. Yeah. It's like, hey, this has come out just before our quarterly report for earnings. So, hey, we've sold a load of games and we've made a load of money. But, oh, wait, it's all falling apart now. And this goes back to the whole thing of the 20-year deal. You spent that long building up all of this. You know, it takes 5 minutes to destroy reputation.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Like, and people have had this with WoW for a while. I mean, you would thought, speaking of WoW, Warlords of Draenor also kind of did it. It broke a lot of confidence. But I think what really burned people with this was Battle for Azeroth had a lot of hype going into it. There were a lot of people really excited about it. Because it had like a lot of shit that just sounded really good, and Legion was a really good expansion overall. Like it had some shit in it that people didn't like, but overall people loved Legion, so they rebuilt a lot of faith that people didn't have. And then Battle for Azeroth comes out, and it starts out pretty good, and like the questing's okay, and some of the systems seem okay. And then they realize that when you get to max level, well, Azeroth is shit, and it's just like a number that doesn't really do anything, and makes a lot of your gear boring and invalid. A lot of the problems that still played the game before still exist. War mode feels kind of iffy and bad in places.
You know what annoyed me with that game? The loot was just like pointlessly random to me. Like I didn't really care what I was looting. It wasn't like, oh yes. Yeah, because what I was doing is I was googling like, right, what chest piece do I need? And it's just like, just run these dungeons and you'll just get the drop and it'll just. And I'm like, what is this? Like I'm trying to find like armor sets to chase after and items and you know what's the best shield.
That's why I'm looking forward to vanilla. That's why
what the hell is this?
That's why I want vanilla. Like vanilla does that. You see like, oh my god, that sword, the Untamed Blade drops from Blackwing Lair. I really want that. That fucking sword looks amazing. And so you run that instance hoping to get it, and you see someone with it, and it's like, oh my god, I really want that. But you don't want what Battle for Azeroth and Legion kind of introduced, which is the eye level system and shit, where you're just making number big. Make number big. Do you have eye level? Eye level is all. Eye level is all that matters. And make number big. Make number larger. And it just, it drives me crazy. That's what I miss about vanilla, because vanilla was slower as well. Like when you play vanilla and you're like level 20 and you get a belt that has decent stats on it, it's like, holy shit, I'm gonna be using this thing for fucking weeks. You know, I'm gonna have this thing for ages, and so you get excited and you're happy about the loot. BFA has problems. Hopefully, I've heard that the next raid looks really good, but the raids were never an issue with WoW. Like the raids were always superb and better than their rivals. And they just need they've heard the feedback, but again, Blizzard are like. They're no longer agile. They are no longer responsive. I don't think they ever were agile or responsive, but it's gotten worse.
This is what's really worrying me with Overwatch. Like I hope deep down that all of the lack of like new content is because they are working on something big and not just like, here's a new hero again, of which we're going to give you 3 this year, next year, and the events are slightly different. Because what worries me is when we did the Retribution event, they made it very clear to us that it was like, it takes us a year to make this event of like solid work. And I'm like, what? I'm like, surely not, Blizz.
Yeah, and what you want to hear with stuff like that is like, oh, we took a year to do that, but we built the system to do it, so now we can make these campaign things every 2 months. You know, that's what you want to hear when they say something like that. Not just, oh, it took us a year to build Retribution. It's like, oh, we built a framework, and now we can really easily do this.
Yeah.
That's what you hope to hear.
Yeah.
But it's not what you hear. It's...
No. And like, okay, this is probably asking for too much, but, you know, imagine if you had something like Retribution every 2 months that came out.
Yeah.
Or even a month. That'd be like huge, because it'd be like, wow, look at this. There's something to get people back in the game. Because the problem with Overwatch is, and I don't think Blizzard entirely realized this, is that the game is not the game it was before. The people who were like super casual are playing Fortnite or whatever the hell is the latest flavor of the month, because that's just what they do. And the reality of Overwatch is, and sometimes we don't really see this because we're like so into it, is people are not going to spend like 2 games where it's abysmally bad and then just say, oh, it's fine, I'll just keep playing over and over again. They will stop playing and they will play something else. And it doesn't take much to get the attention of those players.
Yeah,
but like the argument is, do Blizzard want them back? Do they want the players back? Or are they going to focus on the players that they've got? Because I mean, Overwatch is fairly stable right now. I mean, it's not. It's probably never going to grow again. I mean, what I worry about, honestly, is Overwatch League next year. Yeah. What's going to go on with that?
That's another facet. I'm reminded though, when you mentioned like the casual hardcore split, there's a really cool story that came out of Miyamoto from Nintendo, and they developed the Wii, and the Wii exploded. The Wii was huge. Everyone fucking bought it, and then they released the Wii U. But what Nintendo didn't realize was that they caught the casual market. The casual market doesn't give a shit. The casual market doesn't care if it's Nintendo. They don't care what your history is. They don't care about your brand. They just want the thing that everyone is buying. And so everyone bought the Wii, and then when the Wii U came out, they just go, what the fuck? We don't give a shit about this. Is this just, what is this? I already have a Wii. Why do I need a Wii U? And so nobody bought it. Absolutely nobody. The sales were way down. Everything sort of collapsed on the back of it. And what they realized, what Miyamoto said afterwards was, yeah, we caught onto the casual market, but the casual market don't care. They leave the moment they can. And Overwatch, you know, it definitely has that issue where you have people coming in for every event, they try it out, and then they leave. And this is why I was saying earlier, like with Overwatch balance, they should really start to consider that the player base has matured. The player base is different now than it was on release.
So for them to make a animated short costs the same per minute as a Pixar animated movie. You guys can go out and Google that, but it is horrifically expensive. Those only appeal to the casual audience. They bring people in who do not play Overwatch. They did this to begin with, and it worked super well. Now they're making these animated shorts, and I don't think they have much impact, because if the casual is like, I mean, using the term casual is not fair, but like the less interested gaming third party who just plays whatever. That's a really terrible way of explaining it. But they see the animated short, they come back to the game, and then they're like, oh, it's just the same as before, and then they just leave. So they're spending all these money on animated shorts. It's like they're advertising to people that when they get there, they've actually got nothing to show them. It's really weird. Like, as good as they are, you know, and they are good, the animated shorts. I don't think any of them have been bad. Probably, I guess the Soldier one is probably the least impactful of the lot. But like, think of the time frame we're on now, and we're still getting the story about the bloody fucking recall. It's like, come on, I could write a bloody more comprehensive lore for Overwatch in the back of this.
I've just brought something relevant up on the screen that just nicely dovetails with your point, which is that Riot released the KDA video.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And the amount of people that said, oh, I want to play LoL again, right? Who had stopped playing, had no investment in the game anymore, and they go, oh shit, I want to play LoL again. This looks awesome. And then they probably go play LoL for 2 games, get flamed, and then stop playing. And it's exactly the same thing as those animated shorts, right? That it's going out to people who are like going, oh my god, I haven't played Overwatch. Ash looked amazing. I'm going to go play Overwatch. Oh shit, I just got flamed or ranked. I'm not going to play again. So, I wish Blizzard would realize that they need to stop treating their player base like they are children now. And like, you know, that they are going to be super offended and leave, because everyone who gets super offended by someone going, oh, your damage in this game is low, say without a scoreboard, they've gone. They've already been offended and fucking left. They are done with this game. So all you've got left now is the hardcore player base, the people who want to play Overwatch for a long time and are invested in this game. Those are the only people left, and you need to start giving those people tools and things.
It's a problem. It's just a problem of like rewards as well. I mean, just gaining SR and trying to get up into different brackets is like, it's a crap reward. If there was something they could do to make people stand out, like, you imagine if there was a reward system based on like the rank you get to, coupled with the time played on a hero. So let's say, I don't know, you become like an Ana specialist, right? So you get some sort of reward that reflects that you're like a really good Ana player. I think people would work towards that, rather than just like, oh, go on, weapons are crap. But like, I mean, what are you trying to achieve in ranked right now? You're going into games trying to like get back to masters, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
But then you lose a game, and you're like, okay, this doesn't feel great. And then you lose another game. And I caught the back end of a Rialto game where there's just, I don't even know what was going on in that game. But that's not great, right? I mean, it just opens like a massively wider debate anyway. And the way the game's designed to encourage that type of behavior, because let's be real, it's not like everybody who plays Overwatch is an absolute arsehole and just wants to scream into the microphone. Yet you meet them all the time when you play Overwatch. Like, you can play in a night, well, like you just have, and you'll meet all these people. And you have to think to yourself, all right, you know, let's be positive. good game, guys. GG. But then it's like, oh, this again. And you're left like with just me and you. Like, here's a question for your chat. Who actually plays Overwatch now?
It's always a grim question to ask.
It is a grim question. But
you're recording this, right? Yeah. No, it's been recorded. I actually should stop the music in the background as well. I mean, money my videos make anyway, so like, you still play? I do. I don't. I even play it in a team. Not me. Only placements 4 to 6 hours a day. Ooh, dedicated. That's more than I play. Not on weekdays. I do. At work has been pain. Nope, not right now, but in general, yes. Only watch animated shorts.
Is a good point. Like, I don't know why Overwatch doesn't have weapon skins. That's so
Jeff hates them, is why. Well, Jeff hates the golden ones. He doesn't hate weapon skins in general.
Yeah, but if weapon skins were tied to achievements in competitive, I don't know how they do it, but
I play Team Deathmatch comp exclusively, barely play. It's generally like, it's a very difficult thing, and I'm sure you get this as well, Sty. I put out a tweet about this and it got like 1 billion fucking likes, so I know this resonates, especially with creators, where you spend ages arguing with someone, like someone says something kind of uninformed about Overwatch, you're like, well, hang on a minute. No. And then you discuss it with them, and then you realize like half an hour into the discussion, they say something like, oh yeah, but I haven't played it in 6 months.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the why? Why have I spent this time just talking with you? Oh, it drives me nuts. But yeah, a lot of people burn out like very, very quickly with this game. And I mentioned this earlier because someone asked like, oh, do you think that Overwatch can bring players back with the toxicity of the community as it is now? And it's not that Overwatch has a toxic community.
The community is not toxic. Yeah, I've just said this. It's not.
Yeah,
the community is not toxic.
It's people just getting frustrated over time. And you need to find those root frustrations and deal with those. Very few people are actively toxic.
They say at one point as well, oh, the community need to sort themselves out. In fact, I remember Jeff put a video out, and I remember watching that, and I'm like, this is so bad, because you have designed this system. Like, you can't go out there and say, oh, be nice, play nice with each other. But by the way, we're just letting you all bash together in a competitive system where it's literally who can lock in the fastest. You know, I've spoke to like family members I've got that don't play Overwatch, but they play other games. One of them is like hardcore into League of Legends. Like, he was at Challenger level or something. It means nothing to me.
Basically,
like, oh
Masters GM.
Yeah, he was just, all he does is play League of Legends. And he was like, yeah. So he's reading off all these streamers and whatever. He plays all the time. Like, this is great, whatever. But he's like, yeah, so on the pick and ban phase for the hero, and I'm like, the what? There's none of that in Overwatch. And he goes, right. He says, so the role selection then? And I'm like, what? He goes, hang on. So the game's based on like tanks, healers, and DPS, and you can't pick who you want to play. I'm like, yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
No wonder it's terrible. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not as simple as that. But then the thing is, maybe it is, right. Maybe they just think, fuck it, and they just go, here you go, boys. Just pick what you want. Every game's 2-2-2. And maybe that makes Overwatch better, because let's be real. It's really annoying when you don't have a usable team comp. And all the arguments I've seen before where it's like, oh, yeah, but this forces the meta. This means we can't do stupid stuff like maybe break out of Symmetra for some sort of crazed strategy, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, no, I just want to be in a game where if I'm playing Reinhardt, I know that the guys who have picked the characters with the shooty guns can actually shoot the enemy, and the healer will heal me, and I won't just run forward and die.
It also means that they can split up your SR. It means that they can split up, like, oh, well, now you're going in as DPS, so now this is your DPS
I've
SR.
said this before as well. If I can't play DPS beyond like 4.1k, I'm not good enough. I'm shit, right? I'm not good enough at that level for DPS. I'll play tank, but sometimes you've got to play DPS in those games, and you're like, guys, I'll try, but I'm probably going to get owned by whoever the hell is on the enemy team. That's not great. That's a very first world issue, like, but it's still the same thing, right? Shooty gun man.
Yeah, it's like it's tanky sponge man, shooty gun man, and then heal slut.
Yes, but chat. If you want to do stupid shit, do it with a 6-stack, and not in. Literally nobody can get a 6-stack of players together. Like very, very small percentage of the player base could even do that. This is why it has to be.
Yeah,
it has to be the dynamic queue. It has to be select what you'd like to play, however they implement that, and then you go forward and then you do it.
Yeah, I fall on like a lighter role queue. I just want to be able to tell the game I want to play these heroes, and the game will then try and do something with that.
Heroes,
right? That's what I want to be able to tell the game and say, I want to play this, this, and this, and the game goes, okay, we'll try and match you so that you can play that, that, and that. And if you don't get into a game where you get to play that, the game will tell you, like, due to extended queue times, you are playing off role or some shit like that, right? Where the game actually can then take into account, well, I want to do this, because the amount of times you go into hero select and 4 people lock in DPS and then people have to like awkwardly figure out what they're going to do is far too numerous, and that's when the frustration starts. So you enter the game frustrated, and then the DPS aren't hitting targets, aren't getting kills, and you're stuck playing support, and you're going, what the fuck am I playing support? I should be DPSing, or oh my god, I'm not getting heals. What the hell? And it's like, they need to whittle down the frustrations. It just always comes back to this. Whittle them down. Get rid of the main causes of these frustrations. It's not all balance based. It's not all that Brigitte is overpowered or Doomfist is overpowered, although God knows that they are, but it's dealing with frustrations. In-game in balance terms and out of games in systemic terms. Once they start doing that, things will be better. And
this is why I was asking for a roadmap. I've said this to the devs. I'm like, give me a roadmap. They're like, yeah, well, we've got one, but like, obviously, it's not public, and it's the same old things of like, hey, we don't want to commit to something publicly because then we might have to backtrack on it. And for some reason, they see that as such a horrifically bad thing to do. Now, I think maybe they read a little bit too much into the official Blizzard forums, which are just the worst place for any kind of feedback ever. It is literally worse than Reddit, which is amazing in itself. They are so bad. Like, there are big posts up on there with people going crazy about Brigitte.
Yes, like, I've heard this.
Hang on. The original vision for Brigitte is she is a tanky support that protects the back line. She's not a front line marauder that rushes in and smashes the enemy tanks to pieces while your team just barrel rolls through. And she runs around doing what she likes. And she's got a stupidly easy high damage combo to shut down the flankers. What she should be doing, and this is how she was originally designed, is she sits there in the back. Tracer comes around to try and mug your, I don't know, your Zen or your Anna or whatever, somebody who can't move out of the way. You bash her and hope that your DPS kill her or your other support teams with you to kill her. That's what it's about, not just wiping people out with one shot. So now it's going to be interesting to see how this works out on Monday. Will she be capable of filling the role of the flex or off support? Will it be possible to run Anna and Brig as the support? Because that's not possible now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys ever get that in your games, you lose, right? Even if you're like, oh, well, I'm going to pick Brig because Brig's going to win, but you've only got Anna. No, you need to play Lucio or Zen. Because you know what you haven't got there, ladies and gentlemen? A defensive ultimate, so you're just going to die. Also, you won't have the healing output. And this is what really frustrates me.
I did this. I literally did this exact rant for about half an hour at the start of the stream when people asked me about my opinions on the Brig changes, which is that the fundamental issue as with Brig is that as a support player, I cannot swap to Brig.
No.
Right? I need one of the DPS generally to swap to Brig to make her work. So, yeah, I'm happier with her sort of being more of a support. And yes, you are basically getting a unit loss /podcast /OAM video at the moment because this is literally content that you're getting for free. Enjoy it. Well, not for free. It's on my stream anyway. But yeah, it's like Blizzard need to get past this thing, because I know this happened with WoW a lot, where they like hear things and they tease things, and then like a year later they say, yeah, we just can't do that. Wrath of the Lich King dance studio.
Dance thing, yeah.
It was
on the box, wasn't it?
It was on their first trailer, like that they released.
Yeah, but it was literally printed on the box as well. I think it was. Like dance studio.
Oh, it might be on the box as well.
But it's stupid. All of this is stupid. I don't care if they go, oh, right, so this is what we're working on. We're working on a system of this, but, oh, it didn't work. And then they explain why they didn't think it would work. Maybe they just don't want to expose themselves to, like, any kind of negative criticism. I don't know how they work. We don't know what they're like. We don't know if they're in a little bubble and they don't like negative feedback, or, maybe they just like the way they think it should be done. We're not game designers. We can't tell people what to do. Although I do agree that we can at least give ideas, even if they're shit ideas. We play the game all the time. It's like 3 years in at this point. It's like when you look at the Seagull video. I remember talking to him about that before he made it, and it was like, it was going to be good just because of who it is. Because it's like the happy-go-lucky guy played at the highest level, but he's just going to say this is what competitive's like, and everybody's going to go, oh yeah, that's true. And then I started seeing other people coming out going, oh, well, this is just a waste of time. He's not actually giving anybody any
yeah, I saw that response.
reasons how to fix this, and I'm just like, well, it's not really his place, but I can understand why they say that, because it's sort of like you want to strike up a discussion, but then you're not actually going to go, well, I think this would be a good idea. But one of the issues with Overwatch is, and you see it all the time, it is this role queue thing where people are like, just give us role queue, but you can't just. I don't think you can just do that. You can give, as you said, like role queue light. You can do like preferred hero selection. You could maybe do certain types of, I don't know, queues. But the problem with different queues is I don't think they've got enough player base to make that viable. Because I mean, you remember when Overwatch was in beta, it was just 6-stack in competitive.
Yeah,
there was no solo queue, none of that. It was like you had to have a team. So that's how they knew that's how Overwatch needs to be played. The devs know this, but they have to make concessions, and that's why we had the I think they call it the dynamic queue, right? And it's like, okay, that's fine. But then Overwatch is early in its life. I mean, you look at the way Overwatch is designed with all these like massive well, look at the play of the game system. It sums it up beautifully. Everybody did something when they first got Overwatch that made them feel like they were the greatest player ever. I made a video, a very early video, and it's so bad if you watch it back now, but I literally run out of the spawn in Gibraltar, not Gibraltar, sorry, on King's Row, second point, with Soldier. I press Q, I kill everybody, and we win the game because they don't push the cart. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It's like the best thing ever. It's like play the game. Wow, I'm feeling awesome. Like I've just annihilated everyone. Everybody has had that feeling with Overwatch, and the game is designed to do that. It's designed to make everyone feel like they're a hero. This is why it got a lot of the people who didn't play FPS games to come and play. Then we had the whole, what are the events going to be? Now, I was very in tune with that through all the speculation videos, all the stuff going on. These were massive videos. Like some of them would get millions of views. People are like, oh my God, what's the next event? And then you go from that year to, well, that was the year of our World Cup performance. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, incredible. First World Cup.
Luckily, we did a little bit better now. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so then you go into the next year, and then you start to see the same events again, and it's like, okay, this is fine. Other games start to come out that get quite popular. Competitive, people start to realize that there's some issues with it. We start going into like the mercy meta at that point. There's a lot of issues. Players are getting a little bit fatigued with the game, which is fine. This is going to happen. And then for the year after that, so we're into this year, it's like, well, guys, it's the same events again. Now, that to me, if I was in charge of that team, I would have, I mean, we'll never know what's happened and we'll never know what their direction is, but I would have made it an absolute priority to make sure the events become bigger, better. We even have different events, because we can't not have new content coming into the game, because our hero shooter, I mean, in fact, I remember Quick Play and the arcade used to be the highest played game modes, like more than competitive. It's now competitive. Jeff even said this on the forums. Ooh. Competitive now hosts the most game instances. So what does that tell you? It's just the people left who are crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just the more hardcore player base.
Yeah. When a new season starts, people come in and go, oh okay. It's that placement thing. Like, I'm still not a great fan of placement games at the start of the season because it's just stupid. But they come through and it's like, season 13. Okay, let's go. I'll do my placement games. Oh no, I've placed at 2,400, but last season I ended at 2,700. Oh, it's so bad. And then they don't play again for 2 months. It's like, that is so poor. That design is so poor, and I don't understand why they think that's acceptable.
It's a bizarre situation to be in. Like, it's a frustrating one, as we are, especially the more hardcore audience, and I'd say like most of the people watching this stream as well, considering it's a smaller Overwatch stream, would be some of the more hardcore audience that Blizzard would be able to appeal to, and you feel almost forgotten. at times, where it's just like we need fixes for stuff that we want to love this game, we want to play this game. We've had Black Ops come out, we've had Fortnite come out, and it's only going to take like every single time one of those big games comes out, they're just going to siphon away players every single time.
Apart from Battlefield 5.
I've heard actually non-stop good things about Battlefield 5.
Yeah, I know, but I just think it's like
I think it's already dead.
Yeah. They've started using the bloody the Battlefield theme tune in their release trailer. Why have they? Every time Battlefield releases a trailer, why do they not use the Battlefield theme? Everybody knows what that is. Like
it's almost like the Terminator theme.
Yeah, you want that. It's like, oh my god. I mean, I remember. I slammed my desk in rage because I played Battlefield Bad Company 2 like crazy. I played I played Codename Eagle. None of you bitches know what that is in the chat, do you? You might not also be bitches in the chat, but do you know? Does anybody know what Codename Eagle is? In fact, it seems to be quite. There's less delay on Twitch these days, right?
Oh yeah, it's like 2 seconds.
That's like how it used to be.
There's like a low latency mode now. It's like 1 or 2 seconds.
Critical confirmed says it was the shit. So.
2142. I agree with Master Base.
Probably Google
2142. 2142 all the way.
I never played that though.
Oh, it's so good.
Played that. That's the weird thing, right? So Codename Eagle was the original Battlefield. This is before Battlefield. It was like a World War I Battlefield, and it was beautiful. Anyway, then Battlefield 1942 comes out. Now this was beautiful. It was just beautiful. Words cannot describe it. It was beautiful. And actually, I played that sometimes with a guy called Odie that runs Team Dignitas. And I met him for the first time at BlizzCon this year, but he was also, for some reason, in Westminster when I was there. Well, not for some reason, because he's part of that esports team. Anyway, because we used to be in like a Merc server, an IRC server. It was pretty whatever. Anyway, I'm like, cool. He was like an amazing player. Then I never played Battlefield 2, really. I played it a little bit. I think that was probably around the Day Defeat Counter-Strike time.
Yes.
So I just came out of Battlefield and I was like playing Day Defeat and all of that. So you can see I like World War II games, right? It's like, yeah, Day Defeat. Then, hang on, I ain't finished my point. Then I didn't play Bad Company. I didn't play 2000 and whatever. Although everyone goes, that's crazy. Because wasn't there like a Titan game mode in that way?
Yeah, it was nuts. It was great.
I never played it, so I feel shameful and dirty. Then Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out, and that was the best Battlefield by far. That was just so good. Because that was the first one with just complete destruction. You could level the entire place. Panama Canal, the greatest map ever. Like, me and my friends that used to play it at the time, we'd call each other, like, you become the champion of Panama, right? If you could just win constantly on the map, like, non-stop all day. And we'd, like, I think it had a stats system, but I don't think it was anything like, they are these days. But you basically connect to the same servers, like, over and over again. And we'd, like, be the best on Panama. Like, Panama 24/7 server. It was the best, man. Holy shit. And then, then Battlefield 3 came out. Hang on, man. This is like a live story. It was Insomnia. It was Insomnia 38, I think it was, in the UK. 2011, I want to say, or maybe 10. Anyway, they had Battlefield 3 there, and I got a press pass, and they're like, come and play it. So I went over and played it, and I was like, this is pretty good. And then it wasn't really. The graphics were amazing though at the time, I remember, but the game was like, there was not that much destruction in it. In fact, I made a few videos on that. It got loads of views at the time. It got hundreds of thousands of views, and EA was promoting my videos. It was comedy. It was like, hey man, here's another guide from Stylosa on Battlefield 3.
It's not a penis.
They DMCA'd me. What?
Nice. No, I'm drawing shit on the screen, and they're asking, is that a penis? God. No, it's not a penis.
Anyway, screw Battlefield. But then somehow I ended up playing this game.
Yeah, it's like I fucking love Battlefield. Like, I've always been more of a Battlefield gamer myself. Like, more than Call of Duty.
The scale of it.
Yeah,
I got Call of Duty. Well, no, hang on, no. I say that I did play Modern Warfare a lot.
I never played
one, but I played shitloads of Modern Warfare to the point of where I was having dreams of UAV online.
Blops 4 was my first fucking COD. Like, Miska still can't believe that, but it was a console shooter. It was for console plebs. I'm not a console pleb. Why the hell would I play?
Yeah, but it was no. COD 2 and Modern Warfare were PC, my son. Then it became Modern Warfare 2 is where it went to shit. That's when it became a console pleb game. It was horrible.
I didn't play that. I played Doom and Quake and then Counter-Strike, and then sort of I think I went straight to TF2 after that, and that's sort of where I was growing up. And then sort of Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4.
I never played much TF2. I played Team Fortress Classic. I used to play that at LAN cafe in a local town where I lived at the time. And then one day it shut down. It was the worst thing ever. Me and the lads, we got on the bus and we went over there. Cost us about £1.20. Got there and it's closed down.
Whew.
What a day.
Well, it's LAN cafe, so yeah, it would close down.
It's only customers. A couple of kids from school. Unlucky.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna wrap it up here instead of it being Uncle Sty's Ramble Fest time. So yeah, Overwatch, like, beholden to stock market, scary. We didn't even touch on the Overwatch League being this massive, unwieldy, terrifying weight that's got so much investor money in that they have to constantly be aware of its presence now, and it's a massive like hat on top of the frame that is Overwatch. Thank you, Sty. And what a polite guest we have, this arsehole. And yeah, just so much to go over. But hopefully Blizzard fix things. Like, they want to fix it, and like, this is the message I want to leave people on, which is that they do kind of know. Like, every single time we talk to them, the developers are like, yeah, we know. We want to fix it, we want to do stuff, we want to do this, we want to do that. Hopefully they fix it. The steps with Brig seem to be going the right way. The Seagull video seems to have set momentum going the right direction as well. And hopefully it all works out. Here's hoping. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I've been Josh's... Why am I editing this like a fucking video? I've been Josh's One Voice Amongst Many, that's been Sty. Yeah,
Well, no, hang on, no. I say that. I did play Modern Warfare a lot.
I never played one.
But I played shitloads of Modern Warfare. To the point of where I was having dreams of UAV online.
Blopsport was my first fucking COD, and like Miska still can't believe that, but it was a console shooter. It was for console plebs. I'm not a console pleb. Why the hell would I play?
Yeah, but it was before... No, COD 2 and Modern Warfare were PC, my son. Then it became... Modern Warfare 2 is where it went to shit. That's when it became a console pleb game. It was horrible.
I didn't play that. I played Doom and Quake and then Counter-Strike, and then sort of... I think I went straight to TF2 after that, and that's sort of where I was growing up. And then sort of Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4...
I never played much TF2. I played Team Fortress Classic. I used to play that at LAN cafe in a local town where I lived at the time. And then one day it shut down. It was the worst thing ever. Me and the lads, we got on the bus and we went over there. Cost us about £1.20. Got there and it's closed down.
Whew.
What a day.
Well, it's LAN cafe, so yeah, it would close down.
It's only customers. A couple of kids from school. Unlucky.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna wrap it up here instead of it being Uncle Sty's Ramble Fest time. So yeah, Overwatch, like, beholden to stock market, scary. We didn't even touch on the Overwatch League being this massive